For now, I'm going to read the introduction to my personal favorite of the Toltec books. Spoke a little bit about it on the podcast with A-Dubs. This was the only book that Don Miguel Ruiz, had published prior to the Four Agreements. I felt like it's probably a little too much for a lot of people. Maybe a little woo-woo or too spiritual, magic talk, for some people. But for those who already get it, for those who do relate, this is an awesome book. It's like the pinnacle, in my opinion, of articulating the Toltec worldview. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it. This is just the intro. The intro title is A Dream Journey. I'm going to read most of it. I am going to skip around. I'm going to skip just enough so that it's not like I'm, doing an audio book of it. But with this book, I'm not going to read just a little bit of passages. I'm actually going to go through the whole thing, but I am going to skip like significant amounts and just do it like a chapter at a time. So this is just the intro. I hope you guys enjoyed this series from Beyond Fear. They are going to be maybe a little longer videos than the typical passages for the reason that I just said, but it's worth it. This book will take you on a dream journey into your imagination. Your destination is heaven on earth, and your guide will be Miguel Angel Ruiz. Miguel is a Nahuel. Nahuel is a word passed down from ancient times through the Aztec language, Nahuatl. The word Nahuel is making its way into English, particularly in discussions of shamanism. What is a Nahuel? According to Toltec tradition, everything that exists is one living being, which manifests itself by creating everything that we can perceive and everything that we cannot perceive. This living being is the only one who really exists. All else, including ourselves, is an emanation of this great and wonderful being. This being controls our planet by supervising the energy of the sun, and the sun also is an emanation of the one being. Whereas all the planets orbiting the sun are emanations of the sun. All life on planet Earth is an emanation of the sun and an interaction with Mother Earth. To understand the emanations of the one living being, the Toltecs divided everything into the Nahuel and the Tonal. The Nahuel is everything that exists that we cannot perceive. We could call it the unknowable or the unknown. The Tonal is everything that we can perceive with our common sense. The Tonal and the Nahuel can only exist because of intent. Intent is that connection or force which makes possible all transference of energy between the Nahuel and the Tonal. Without intent, neither the Nahuel nor the Tonal would exist. There would literally be nothing in existence at all. Intent is life. It is the eternal transformation and eternal interaction. Intent is what we call God, what some people call God. Intent is life by itself. It is God and it is spirit. In terms of our modern science, everything that exists in the world is energy. Light is energy, and everything at its root is light. Energy has billions of manifestations, millions of different vibrations. The Nahuel is all the energy in the stars and between the stars that we cannot perceive. This is the Nahual. The kind of energy that we can perceive and prove that it exists, we call the Tonal. The solar system is a living being with its own metabolism, with its own Nahual and Tonal. The Tonal is the sun, with all of the planets, moons, comets, meteorites, and satellites. Everything that we can perceive with our eye and the instruments that give increased power to our eye. The Nahual is the energy that comes from these planets and moons, including the energy that emanates from the Earth. Planet Earth is also a living being with its own Nahual and Tonal. It, too, has its own metabolism. Like the human body, which has many organs that work together to maintain a perfect equilibrium, the Earth also has organs. Among these organs is the human organ composed of all human beings together. As an organ, human beings also have their own Nahual and Tonal. Emotions are energy that we cannot perceive, but we call them tonal because we experience them in our senses. The tonal in humans is the energy we know, and also the energy that it is possible to know. The nahual is the energy that we cannot know with our reason. In the Toltec tradition, we call God the eagle, which means the spirit. All human beings are the eagle. All human beings are the nahual, the tonal, and also intent, whether they are living or dead. When we refer to a person as a nahual, we mean that the person has a characteristic energy which creates a direct connection between the nahual and the tonal. The nahual can split emotions from actions. The nahual is born with a strong will and is not paralyzed by fear. A human being who is not born as a nahual is often paralyzed by fear. Nonetheless, in theory, anyone can become a nahual by intent. A nahual is a person who has the ability to teach or guide others to the spirit by convincing them that inside of each person is a powerful force linking one to life or God. This is the force of pure intent. Usually, the nahual is the one who guides others to find who they really are, to help them find their own spirit, their own freedom, their own joy, happiness, and love. We are all inculcated with fear. Miguel says that fear is the normal result of our domestication in childhood. Fear is the root of the reality we usually perceive around us. Fear is the source of disease, of war, and of alienation from the joy that is our birthright. Good start. There's going to be more. Might do another one tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the start. Beyond Fear. Let's go.